Hi, everyone. Hi, friends. I'm so happy to be back with you here with Pink and Main. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be doing round 2 of our sneak peek week for our November release that comes out tomorrow. I'm so excited. I see lots of people checking in already. Virginia, Annette, Lori, Susan. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Um, as a recap from Tuesday, on Tuesday we made this fun purple kind of window shaker with this beautiful new foilable background and the icicle foil. That's what that new one is called. I double checked today. It's the icicle holographic foil. You can see that there. And these super cute images. And then for my blog post yesterday, the same idea. I have this fun window shaker with the Funky Flakes foilable and this really cute little stamp set. And so I wanted to play with that stamp set more today with you. And we're going to be incorporating some foil, but we're going to not do the shaker. We're going to change it up a little bit. But that way we can see some more, a new stamp set. We can see a new foilable kit. We can see, I'll show you guys all of the other new stuff at the end. Whatever we don't get to, it's in there. So let's see. I see Judith, Suki checking in. Dawn said she might fall asleep. Fair enough. I'll take it that I'm very soothing and comforting. I don't feel soothing, but um, I'm sure, yeah, this time of year, I feel like a lot of people have such a hard day. Nicole is a newbie here from Connecticut. Thank you so much for checking in, Nicole. I appreciate that. But yeah, let's go ahead and flip over to our overhead and let's just get to work. So the stamp set that I wanted to use with you guys tonight is the Cup of Good Cheer. I love these. These are so cute, and they definitely have a mix of more like holiday leaning, right? Like this guy with the little antlers and the candy cane, he definitely leans a little more Christmassy, but these guys are pretty open-ended, right? These could be winter. You could probably push the little heart one fall if you wanted to. Depending on how you color the Santa hat on this guy, you could kind of sway him more winter for sure. And then you get these sweet little cookies, some extra lollipops, and the really adorable little sentiments, and all of the sentiments come with coordinating dies. But today, I want to use a big statement sentiment. So I grabbed the Let It Snow foilable kit, which is brand new, and we'll walk through that before we get started. So this one, you get 2 sheets of these mittens with the snowflakes and hearts and little snowballs. Okay, you get 2 sheets of this chunky snowflake, and these are enough for 2 panels or like a slimline panels, like 2 A2s if you cut it this way. And I think you can get, they might be a little small, but like 2 slim lines that way. And my other Dawn in my life said she is not asleep, so that's good. I'm happy to see you. Let's see who else is. Becky is checking in. Okay, sorry, I'll try to stay focused. So these are the 2 sentiment sheets that come in this set. So you get the beautiful heart with the snowflakes, a couple winter blessings. I really love this like long slimline border of those snowflakes. I almost used the Hello Winter, but I decided today that I really want to use the Winter Kisses and Snowflake Wishes. I just think that's so cute, and we'll put our little mug right above that. But you get all of these in here, and you can fussy cut them. You can cut them with a die, which is what we're going to do, or you can cut them with just a paper trimmer. And then the last like pattern sheets that you get are these kind of wonky dots. And I love these as like a snowy background because they're not perfect little circles. It's not like a Swiss dot. So I think that's just so fun. But like I said, we're going to use the Winter Kisses and Snowflake Wishes, and we're going to pair that up with this little snowy mug penguin and those two little cookies. So I just thought he would fit so perfect right above that sentiment, and we can kind of nestle those cookies right underneath. So I'm going to turn on my mink, have her right here. Oh, it would help if I plugged her in. Yeah, Mary, I think the dots are so fun. Raquel's here and checking in. Mary, Barbara, love that. Paula. Oh, Mary said it's raining in Florida. At least it's not snowing in Florida. All right, so we're going to prep our foil portion first. And so to die cut same layered scallop squares that we used the other day, I really like using some of the same products in a row because I think it's a nice reminder that you don't have to get brand new stuff every time, that the stuff we have, we can use multiple ways. Sometimes from working with brands, it's hard for me to remember that. And so I like to reuse things when I can. I'm going to shift my square up just a little bit. I'd rather there be extra space on top where we can layer that, our die cut image over top of. I'm going to tape this down and trim right around my square with just scissors. That's just because I don't love sending my whole sheet through my die cut machine if I don't have to. Although I did finally swap out that top plate. So in general, my die cutting has been turning out a lot nicer. Our meat is ready. That just gave me the little beep. Okay. So now we have that die cut with our little stitched border, which is so cute. Make sure this makes its way back. I did find that tinsel silver foil all the way under my desk immediately after turning off the live the other night, just for the record. I'm going to take my microfiber towel, which definitely needs to be run through the washing machine, and I'm just going to dust off that plate or that foilable a little bit. Someone reminded us on Tuesday that that's a good habit to do, a good thing to try to remember to do. So I want to try to keep up with that. So I'm using, sorry, I should have shown you. I'm using the Lots of Love foil, which is a pink holographic heart. I just thought if I want this card to read more winter than Christmas, and so I thought that this would be a really fun way to do it, but is by changing up the colors. I think doing a pink or a blue, teal or purple is a fun way to give that winter versus Christmas or holiday. Mary said it was 68 in Florida. I'm pretty sure it was 68 in Delaware today. So we want the pretty side of our foil and the pretty side of our foilable both facing up in our little sandwich. And I have it here in my carrier sheet. And we have learned tough lessons around here that the carrier sheet 100% does make a huge difference. If you're using parchment paper or something like that, which you can use, you might want to think about adding a paper shim underneath. And if you're using the carrier sheet, I would recommend not doing that, because I get the best results either with this thicker real carrier sheet by itself, or when I had to do the parchment paper while I was waiting for my delivery to come, we added a piece of paper under, just like thin printer paper under, and that helped us make sure we got a nice smooth application. And since then, I haven't had any issues with wrinkling or bubbling. So I see lots of people saying they got really good weather today. Even in Minnesota, it was nice. That's great. I love that for all of us. I think we all could use a break, even though it's only November. You know what I didn't plan out is what the background of this card is going to be. Let's just add some snowflakes. I already have this out. I have the pink foil out. Let's just make it like a foil fest. Sure. We'll go 4.5. Yeah, or sorry, 4.25 by 5.5. So we'll have a full panel. I won't have to worry about a background. We'll cut a foil from the other side. Let's get this one a little wiped down. I should really clean this microfiber towel because I also am just concerned that with my luck, I'm probably depositing something on this sheet at this point. Let's scooch you over. This one in place. Again, pretty side of both facing up. And while that runs through, we can open our sentiment. Oh, I love that so much. Look at that rainbow. Winter kisses and snowflake wishes. And then we'll have that right on top of all those snowflakes. And pop our little penguin on top. Okay, now I can unplug my meat, move that down, and we'll let this cool down for a second and we will Copic color. This coloring should go pretty quick. We already have, right, like all the black part of the little penguin done. I'm actually going to start with the mug. I think I want some purples. I'm leaning either like purple or teal again, but we just did teal and pink. So yeah, I'm thinking some purples, maybe some BVs will be pretty. So let's grab some BV13. And I want this mug to look shiny. So I'm going to leave that space right on the side of the mug so we get that reflective highlight. I like to lay down my little shadow line there all the way down and then go back and start pulling that color. I'm going to leave it on this side too, maybe just a little bit thinner of a highlight because that handles right there. We'll leave the top white. I like that kind of style of mug where it has like the little edge is a different color, like a little rolled edge. And you know, we will pull this into his hat too. And this is what I meant with like these kind of like Santa style hats. You don't have to color them like Santa. You can still make them look very winter just by changing up your colors. So that was the BV13. We're going to pull in some BV11. And the V and BV markers are like the weirdest Copic markers as far as like how the numbers do or don't work together, in my opinion, and like they have the most gaps. So if there's another purple family markers that you like, by all means use those. Let's swatch BV01. I think it's going to be 2. Yeah. So we'll go in with, I don't have all the BVs either. So we're going to go with a BV 000 over the middle. And that'll just soften and give us a nice little highlight. And then we can run it right over those edges as well. That hat. We can lay a little bit of a shadow down with it on the edges of the hat and even that little pom-pom. And I'm just going to blend that out with some colorless blender because I want that to look really soft. I'm also going to leave those out because we'll probably use them on the cookies for some icing kind of shades. Maybe we'll bring in a little bit of pink there. For my penguin, I'm going to grab a C2, a cool gray. If you were here on Tuesday, you'll remember my polar bear kind of got carried, it got away from me shading wise. So we're going to make sure that I leave these really nice and light. We started with a C4 on that polar bear and that was just too dark. So C2 will still give us that little bit of shadow and shading without this turning gray. It'll still look white. I'm going to blend that out with my C0 and I'll hold it up closer to the camera in a second so you guys can see. Just like that. And you know what? I'm going to take that C2 one more time and run that just like little flicks on the edges of that, on the corners, I guess, of that little lip, and then blend that out with the C02. Right, so you can see there's a little shading there. You can see it a little more in person too, but it's still very soft. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. He needs a little orangey beak. We'll just keep it simple. We'll just do one color. So YR68. For these marshmallows, I want tones a little bit. I don't want it to look the same. So I'm going to grab E30, which is just like a little bit of a creamier color. And I'm going to make kind of an L shape. So like up one edge and along the bottom of each of these. And that's enough color for me. Right. Again, in person, it looks a little bit more prominent, but it gives just a little hint of color to it so they don't look like they got forgotten. Let me see if I can add a little bit more so you guys can see. I'm just going to go in with one shade darker, that 31. I still want them to look white. I just don't want them to look forgotten. There we go. That's more what it looks like in real life. And you know what? I'll keep those 30s out for these cookies. So that's the penguin done, just like super quick. You could go in and like probably add a little bit of like brown, like he's in hot cocoa if you want, but I'm just going to leave it with the white. I'm going to go in with the 31 all the way around this little star cookie. And I'm going to take it, and there isn't like an icing border on this snowflake, but I'm going to kind of make my own. So to that one, I'm going to go in with the 30 and just kind of blend that out towards the snowflake that's drawn there, that inner snowflake. And then when we come in with our icing colors, it'll like balance out a little more. All right, so we're probably gonna bring some BV. Let's do the BV icings. I'm just gonna use the lightest two colors we use, that BV11 and BV 000. So I'm just gonna shade like the bottom half of that. And I'm just gonna do these longer spokes, like little wheel spokes around for that snowflake. And we can fill in a little bit with lighter shade. I'm going to pull this out to meet up with those tan markers that we added. So I don't have like a harsh stop and start for that one. And then I'm going to bring in, so you know what, that be RVO4 dries back. I always forget that. We're going to go RVO4. And I'm going to add that to the center of the snowflake and as the sprinkles on this one. And we can add it to the dots on this guy too, just to bring in that pink one other spot so it goes with the foil a little bit more. All right, so we have our little cookies. We have our little sweet penguin. So we're gonna cut those out. Our foil is definitely cooled off by now, so let's see how this turned out. Absolutely perfect. See, and that's why I think that like dusting it off definitely helps. There's like one little spot right there, but right when I do it like that, you can kind of see like right in that little crease, there's one spot, but man, that's pretty. And of course, we'll now pop this guy up with a little bit of foam to help separate him. You know what, that just feels like too much tone on tone. Let me see if I have a pink we can bring in to break that up a little. Oh yeah, that's fun. Speaking of using the same things from the other day, this is that pastel one we did, and we have this pink. Maybe let's just make a little pinky border for that. And that'll just, we can just mat that inner square and it'll just break it up a little bit. I really like that. Let me get that in place first, I guess. When I'm cutting these little borders and I want it to be thin, if you want it to be bold, you could go in with that next larger square and die cut it. But I want it to be really thin. So instead of trying to measure and then cut everything, I'm going to just tuck this right into that corner and use my paper trimmer to cut right around it. Right? Didn't that background turn out so beautiful? And there you go. I was going to say, I feel like from head on, all you see is a rainbow, but it really is also a beautiful pink. Like when I see it flat on my desk, it still very much looks pink. Go. Now we just have that nice little lip. You can see how that mat just kind of breaks that up a little bit. So between that and then popping it up, I think I'll get the vibe I'm going for. And now these guys need to get die cut. You guys know if you've been here before. Oh, the matting is from Fun Pastels. Let me unzoom. So this is the Fun Pastels. It's one of the newer paper pads. It came out in October. So it has a lot of these really like crazy designs, which initially I was like, oh, I'm never going to use that. But like this would also be pretty for this kind of snowy background. The rainbow is really fun. These are cool. I just have to figure out how I want to use them. Like this scares me. I still know it has potential. It's just not something I'm immediately drawn to personally, but maybe I'll make that a challenge for us and we'll use it one day here because why not? They're cool. I like the colors. It's just some of the patterns are like not what I would naturally pick on my own. My dad is here and he says all penguins all the time. Agreed. He grew up in a penguin loving household. We have our snowflake, we have our star, and we have our little penguin. I'm pretty sure if anybody who is newer here hasn't seen it recently while we've been talking about it too, I'm pretty sure there are still a couple advent calendars available with Pink and Main. If that's something you haven't seen and you want to check it out, make sure you go see it on the website because I do know that only a set amount were made and packaged by hand lovingly at the Pink and Main store. And so once they're gone, they're definitely gone for this year. And we are going to be using them for some fun personal challenges in December in our lives. We've decided where we like open a day or two and have to like use it in a fun way. Why do none of these feel like it's the right way to be lined up? There we go. Just multiple times in a circle, it's fine. Nope. These guys through. Machine. And for anybody who wants to see the full new product walkthrough, I hope you guys have seen them before. Michelle always does a whole release overview on the Pink and Mean YouTube channel as like a normal video on usually on release day. Sometimes I think it might have been on the Saturday, but it's usually on release day. So make sure that you check that out tomorrow. And she walks through all of the products and any of the like behind the scenes background detail stuff. I love watching them mostly for that part. All right, so we have all of our stuff. We have our foam tape. Oh yay, Dawn said she just checked out the pattern papers on the website and they have some beautiful stuff. I agree. I love Pink and Main papers. Pattern paper and colored cardstock too. The cardstock is a great quality. All right, so I'm adding foam tape to the back of our sentiment panel that we created with its mat. And I want to make sure that I have room for my little penguin to sit up there. So he can't go too high up. Like I don't want it at the bottom, but I can't go too high up because then we'll run out of room for the penguin. Oh, it's crooked. I don't want to commit yet. We didn't push down. Okay, come on. We can do this. No, we can't. Okay, that's where it lives. Hope it's close enough because that's where it lives now. If that is a concern for you, the thing you can do to make it easier on yourself is add a tiny bit of liquid glue to the back of your foam tape before you put it down, because then the liquid glue will like be a lubricant on your foam tape and you'll be able to wiggle it. But of course, I live life on the edge of my seat and we just wing it around here. So yeah, that's one of those like do as I say, not as I do, I guess. I don't really like that philosophy in general. That's not how I prefer to show you guys stuff. But somebody should learn from my lessons. All right. I wanted him to be center, but now that I'm seeing how this lines up with that winter, I kind of like it a little to the side. Plus we have those cookies. So I popped up the top half of him on the back. So now this is still kind of like loose and wiggly, so we can tuck any of those little cookies and things right around. Let me swap those up. Do the snowflake in front. No, isn't that what I just did? Let's put the star in front and the snowflake up there. Yeah, that's cute. We're gonna ignore the fact that it's crooked because it definitely is crooked. Take some liquid glue, the easy squeeze glue. Slip that right underneath and kind of let that tuck right against that winter word. And then slide our snowflake guy right on top. And I think that helps to kind of balance out. Yeah. You know what we can do too? This is just looking like a lot of snowflake to me. And it's not that I don't like it. It's not my normal style. So I'm going to attempt, and if this turns out crazy, we'll just pretend that the video ended here, okay? I'm going to attempt to trim this down a little bit, which will also give me a chance to make this straight. So I'm going to use the edge of my paper cutter against that square so that I know that it's flush to that. And that will become our new level. Right, so now I know that this edge is parallel to my square. So that's the edge I'm going to let be my guide for cutting a little bit off the bottom. And now that's going to be parallel. Trim a little off that side. And I'm trimming really honestly just a little bit. Right, this is still a little over 4. So we'll make sure that this is still a little over 5 1/4. And I'm just going to add that to white. We'll just make a whole card base while we're here. This is an A2. Well, it will be an A2 card. It's what is it? 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So if we score it right down the middle at 4 1/4. Yeah, Virginia, I'm sure and to everybody else it looked fine, but once my brain thinks it's crooked, I will just sit here and argue with myself about it, unfortunately. But at least I'm self-aware to know that that's how it'll go so that I can try to do something to make my brain feel better about it. Yeah, see, I like that little extra bit of white too. I think that just grounds it. I think having a lot of that foil on foil, just wanted a little bit of something plain to pull it back down. Okay, now I'm happy with it. Now I like it a lot. So now we have our winter kisses and snowflake wishes, sweet little penguin at this beautiful pink foil, holographic. So much fun. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, let me grab the box and I will show you guys all the other new stuff that I have that is coming out tomorrow. So the other foil, besides the icicle foil we used on Tuesday, is this. Granted, I'm not going to know the names for everything because I don't have like the actual tube. I just have a sample of it. But this is the other new foil that's coming. This silver, purple, blue stripe, which is beautiful for winter. I do love it. We'll probably use that next week. Okay. We also have the Tinseltown glitter, chunky glitter, which we looked at yesterday, but we haven't used yet, which is all those little stripes, tinsely shavings of glitter. The last chunky glitter is called Snowdrift, and that is a non-iridescent, kind of like little square, icy, very frosty, just plain like white to silvery. I love that. And it's definitely not like a fly away in the air, like that mica that we used the other day. Foilables, we have, this is that funky flakes that I used in my blue card. This one. So you get on half of the sheets, or you get 4 sheets of this version, and then 4 sheets of those snowflakes pre-cut for you. We have this guy that we used on our card last night. This is the Winter Joy with the little bear and the tree that we used yesterday. Fox, penguin, and seal. Super cute. We also got a peek at this one on Tuesday. This is the Mommy Lay collab for this month. The Polar Friends with the sweet little bear and penguin. They're like snowball fighting. They're about to hug. They are hugging. You get these beautiful snowflakes. And I love the like moon and star and wind. I think that's super fun. Another foilable kit that comes with a bolder and a softer snowflake. This is what we use. This is the Blizzard set. This is what we used on last night's card as well, since it's right here. So that was this snowflake background, and you can see the size comparison, like how much chunkier the one we use today is versus the one from last night is definitely a little more delicate. And it also comes with one that's even smaller and more delicate, depending on how intense you like your shimmer. This is, I love this one. This is the Mittens foil panel. So you get 8 panels of these really cute, sweet little mittens. Let's see what else. We have a New Year, Happy New Year's word die. We're just going to go through everything today. I'm pretty sure at this point, everything's been shared on the blog anyway at some point, some level. So this is the November Pup, the stamp of the month, the Here Comes Santa Paws and Yappy Holidays. I love that with his little wreath. So cute. There's one more foilable set. It's the Snowflake Circles, which I think is fun and like a very different kind of graphic. And then we have, there's 3 more things that are all kind of related. They're all snowflakey things. So we have the snowflake or Big Flakes stickies. So these are adhesive transfers that are like rub-on transfers. I'm still getting the hang of using those, but we're definitely going to play with those. You can use them for glitter, you can use them for flock, and you can use them for foil. We also have the snowflakes emboss and cut folder, which I think obviously these are going to be beautiful. And we played around with inking our emboss and cut folders last month. So I definitely want to play with this and that a little bit, but also with like glittering these because they're going to be beautiful. And this would be a fun way to make little ornaments too. And then the last thing is the large snowflake stencil. And these are big, right? Like this is the size of my palm. So these are definitely substantial. You could do one on a card. You could still do a couple on a card. Definitely, you could make them nice and long for slim lines. So lots of amazing winter products in this release. So if you already have your Christmas cards underway, lots of winter future things or very cute products that will fill your holiday needs now and also be able to be used through January and February, which I love, right? Like around here, it's still snowy in February. So swapping out this little image, but using these, if we just change this out and it was like the bear and the penguin in love, like staring at each other lovingly, that could be a Valentine's Day card for me. So, okay, that's our whole look at all of the new stuff. I really appreciate your patience with me. I hope you enjoyed that. There we go. So this is our second look at our card because again, I just feel like they look different sitting up than they do from the overhead shot. You can see that really pretty holographic. Do the stencils fit over the cut and emboss? That is a great question, Dawn. I don't know. Let's look. I'm literally just going to take it out and hand it out. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they're made to go together. It could be interesting to like layer them though and like see or like stencil them out first and then line them up. But I don't think that was the intention behind them. But a good question because that's something we could definitely give Michelle feedback on. I think that would be pretty cool too. Okay. Oh, I just showed you that and I didn't remember that you can't see that. So some of them are about the same size-ish, but they're definitely not the right shapes. Like they don't line up. So, okie dokie. Well, that is our time together tonight. Again, I'm just so grateful for you guys for coming to hang out. If you have any requests for any of the new stuff that you'd like to see first, leave me a comment wherever you're watching from, and I will go back and check this week so that we can make some plans for next week. Next week, because of the holiday, I am going to be here Monday and Wednesday. I figured it was easier just to shift the whole week so that we don't have to worry about Thursday. So I will be here live with Pink and Main on Monday and Wednesday. And if you just are dying to hang out with me extra, I will also be live with Craft Roulette on YouTube on Black Friday. So I have a busy live week next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We can talk more about that next week, what Friday will look like for me. But yeah, otherwise I will see you guys back here on Monday. I'll make sure that I put up a reminder post on Sunday and then earlier in the day on Monday than I normally do, sharing it around as a reminder for you guys. But yeah, Monday and Wednesday next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern like usual, YouTube and Facebook. Make sure that you're following Pink and Main wherever you're watching from so that you can see Michelle's whole release rundown tomorrow. And let me know what you guys think of the new products. You can always DM me on Instagram or wherever and let me know your thoughts or requests there as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I hope you remember to take some time for yourself as we're gearing up for the holidays and things can get so crazy. Maybe just sit down and see if you can find a couple minutes to craft or color and take a breath. And if you are not excited for next week, know that you are not alone. And if nothing else, you have some fun crafting to look forward to. So I will see you guys back here on Monday.